Since ancient times, 3,000 years ago, we have appreciated the way the Egyptians used certain components to bond walls during the process of construction. Those practices are similar to the ones still in use today. The basic techniques have not gone through many changes throughout the centuries. Today, in the 21st century, thanks to innovative mortar solutions, advancements in technology, and the development of its True Mortar and 123 Mortar line of products, with formulas that are revolutionizing the construction world, we can now leave these old techniques behind. Nowadays, to build a concrete block wall, it is necessary to use 50% of its weight in bonding materials, which is around 15 pounds per block. In contrast with traditional methods, True Mortar only requires 0.4 pounds of adhesive material per unit. To demonstrate the advantages of True Mortar over traditional mortars, we've brought in two masonry professionals to build two identical walls, one with traditional mortar materials and the other with True Mortar. For a wall of 129 square feet, 145 blocks are needed and 3.6 bags, or 266 pounds, of traditional mortar are required to join these blocks. Additionally, 1,450 pounds of sand, water, tools, time, and labor are required. With this traditional building method, many times the consistency and resistance of the resulting mortar mix is not ideal, since the preparation of the mortar depends on the experience of the person preparing it. Also, time and effort constitute an important cost of the total construction process. On the other hand, the same 129 square foot wall, built with the same 145 blocks, requires only 4 bags, or 50 pounds, of True Mortar and 1 gallon of water. With this innovative method, no tools, extra time, or labor are needed to produce the adhesive material. Here, we can observe the time, effort, and space required for the production of traditional mortar. With True Mortar, preparation is much simpler. For best results, 1 quart of water is added to the bag of True Mortar, and after that, the bag is mixed for 2 to 3 minutes and the mortar is ready for use. True Mortar is made at a plant facility that meets the highest standards of quality. Therefore, users' personal mixing experience is not necessary to obtain a perfect mix consistency with each bag. This way, the mason does not have to worry about the mixture's consistency. With True Mortar, you can save time so that you can get on to other projects. To put it in perspective, let's talk numbers. To install 1,000 8-inch blocks the traditional way, one would need 25 bags, or 1,800 pounds of masonry cement, 10,000 pounds of sand, water, labor, a mixer, a wheelbarrow, shovels, and trowels. With True Mortar, you would only need 30 bags, or 340 pounds of True Mortar, water, and only half the labor force required for traditional mortar. Plus, no tools are necessary to mix and transport the mortar. These features clearly show why True Mortar is truly an innovative product that is revolutionizing the field of construction. Now, getting back to the masons building the wall, once they finish the mixture, they have to transport it to the job site, and after it's poured into a trowel, it's finally ready for application. We can now see how they start to build the first wall utilizing the traditional mortar, and it's easy to tell the large amount of material that goes to waste with this conventional method. Alternatively, the application of True Mortar is much simpler, faster, and there's no wasted product. The application of True Mortar is so simple that it does not require experience to use. But for those of you who are experienced though, it has additional benefits and facilitates the job immensely, and lets you focus solely on the leveling of the blocks. True Mortar requires a simple, direct application of the product to join 2 concrete blocks. Generally, with traditional mortar, the space between 2 bonded blocks is 3/8 of an inch. With True Mortar, the width is less than 1/8 of an inch, which facilitates the leveling of each piece. Now that you have an idea of what True Mortar is all about, let's talk about some of the product's features. By using True Mortar, you will obtain a mortar with a simpler process of preparation and a substantial reduction of resources needed at construction time. To achieve this, our product relies on the following features: improved Portland cement-based adhesive strength to go above and beyond the normal construction standards, concentrated adhesive power in the order of 40 times less material needed, a much faster application that allows the spread of the mixture on the entire length of the wall at once. Plus, True Mortar comes ready to use from the factory. Just add water and mix in its own container. The biggest difference between true mortar and the current traditional practices, whether it be masonry, cement, or dry mix, are between 30 and 40 times less bonding material necessary to complete the job. The traditional way needs to be mixed, so a mixer is needed, and the mixture needs to be transported in a wheelbarrow or bucket, emptied in a trough and applied with a trowel. On the other hand, in utilizing true mortar, it's only necessary to add water to the bag, mix it, and apply directly to the blocks. This means a reduction of over 50% of the time needed for job completion. There's also less than 5% material waste compared to the 30% material waste using conventional products. In general terms, working with true mortar comes out to a substantial savings, and in using up to 98% less materials than the traditional products. This accelerates job completion. With all of these examples and advantages, do you still believe it's convenient to continue utilizing a traditional mortar? And there's still more. It also has other great advantages. For example, it produces less waste. It's cleaner, not only because the material doesn't fall on the side of the wall, but because there are no dirty tools to clean. It's practical, giving you a strict control of the building materials. It has greater quality. It's environmentally friendly, as it requires less material to be made and transported. And finally, it's tremendously convenient. All of these features have a positive impact on all parties involved. For construction professionals, such as contractors, supervisors, and installers, it will increase productivity by 50% and reduce the cost by at least 35%. This represents a significant savings for everyone, since they are able to do more in less time and at a lower cost. It substantially simplifies the job for the amateur mason in many ways. It reduces the overall effort and labor needed, and it avoids the use of tools and mixes. Additionally, it facilitates the transport of materials and significantly reduces the difficult task of waste management. Construction companies will benefit not only in reduced time and costs, but also in storage and logistics when it comes to dealing with material inventory management. Lastly, the builder protects the environment by reducing CO2 emissions due to the huge energy demands of mining quarries, milling, and transportation of traditional raw materials, and also avoiding waste management of byproducts. All of these advantages will clearly help your wallet and your schedule. Now, let's not think about all these benefits for just a moment, and address the impending question. Is true mortar really a product that is superior to a traditional mortar? We asked one of the most recognized laboratories in the United States, specialized in evaluation of construction materials, to test our mortar. In one of the first analyses, they tested the product's capacity to support compression loads with a compressive strength and water retention test. This 7-day test of true mortar resulted in a resistance of 2,350 psi and 3,240 psi at 28 days. To give us a better idea of the superiority of true mortar over traditional mortars, the standards establish acceptable values at 750 psi for a Type N mortar, 1,800 psi for a Type S, and 2,500 for a Type N mortar aged for 28 days. Additionally, true mortar has a water retention capacity of 95%, while other traditional mortars have retention of only 75%. The more water the mixture retains, the better qualities the hardened mortar will have. They also tested the flexural bond strength, which is the capacity for adhesion in an adhesive-based joint mortar. Suppose we have 4 blocks. We join 2 of them with mortar Type S and another 2 with true mortar. After 28 days, they attempted to pry them apart, and the blocks joined by Type S withstood a force of up to 121 psi, while the blocks joined with true mortar withstood a force of up to 387 psi, a bond strength of over 3 times greater. We've demonstrated that true mortar is not only a superior product, it also saves more time and money than others. We invite you to join us at the forefront of the 21st century, building with next-generation mortar, which encompasses our superior technology and know-how to obtain better results than ever. Decide for true mortar, and you will never think of going back.